Um, so I wanted to talk a little bit about classical age Anatolian religion. So in the classical age, um, there was, Hellenistic influence, Greek influence there. But many of the deities and cults survived, like many of the Phrygian, Lydian, Pisidian, the Lycian. Many of those all survived. A lot of these deities are from earlier times, earlier eras, and so and some of them are just they're just unique to that culture, like the Phrygian or the Lydian or Pisidian. So um, some of the deities that were popular in the classical age. What I mean by that is like the Greco-Anatolian era of like the last centuries BC, and a couple centuries, first centuries AD. So the Roman era as well. So the Hellenistic era, the Roman era, Anatolia. So Kybele um, was a popular mother goddess. She's all over Anatolia. She's worshipped all over Anatolia. Now, whether her partner Attis was, well, he's definitely a real deity. Um, so, got to throw him in there. But um, it's not certain that he was at an earlier age, though. We don't know for sure, but he's in there. So Kybele and Attis. Attis, I think, is mostly linked to her cult. Um, Now, we have the lunar god Men. Um, he was a popular deity in classical age Anatolia. Um, he was worshipped throughout Anatolia as well. Um, and he was associated with a number of things. He was associated with, well, we can get into that in another video. But he was associated with like certain aspects of fertility of like certain like birds and trees, like pine trees, chickens, and different things. Um, but he was very popular. I always liked this god deity actually quite a bit. Um, I used to be very obsessed with the god Men. Um, Men just it means moon, basically the moon. Um, so it's derived from like Menulus and um, I think the Baltic lunar deity has a very similar name to him. So there's probably some cultural relations there that go back a long way, maybe. Um, to the god Men, there's also a native sun deity, a sun god that um, from like the Phrygians and Lydians, and it goes by a couple different names. Um, he's usually linked to let's see, Apollo usually, but it's not Apollo. It's just um, Apollo. They were syncretized, a little bit, but it's still the native. It's still the native Anatolian sun deity. Um, so this god, I believe, um, was called, and it was called. He was called different names depending on the locality. So let's see. Um, I'm thinking one of the Lydian names was Tyrrhenius. I'd have to go back and look that up. Apollo Tyrrhenius. Then there's Apollo Larbenos, Phrygian. One of the Phrygian names for their local sun deity. Um, Larbenos is, yeah, that's a good one. Um, Sozon or Sozios means the savior. That's another one. Um, Apollo Sozon. You could find him with like the sun rays around his head, and I believe he rides a horse. I think. So yeah, the Anatolian sun deity. You could find him in various areas. Um, they're not so. They're not all like. I wouldn't equate them all. Like I wouldn't equate Larbenos with Sozon and Tyrrhenius or Tyrannos. I wouldn't say they're like the same exact deity, but they're similar. Like the Tyrannos was worshipped in the Lydian areas, Larbenos in Phrygian areas, Sozon. I think he was worshipped in Phrygian areas as well. There's different cultures. There's different. Um, Might be Pisidian as well. There's the Carians. I'm forgetting a couple people, but yeah, there is definitely a couple native sun deities there. Um, they're related, but I wouldn't equate them. I wouldn't equate them. And Apollo, you're going to find them um, related to Apollo because it's the classical age. There's a number of native storm gods that survived. Now they're going to have Zeus. They're going to be heavily associated with Zeus. Um, but you will find native storm deities though. They're not. They didn't just. It's not just Zeus. Um, I'm forgetting the name of some people, some cultures here, but you will find native storm deities among like the Lydians, the Lycians, the Phrygians, the Pisidians. Um, I think there's even some better documented ones from other people the other cultures that I'm just not. I'd have to go back and look at the names of the other cultures there. Then there's the god Sandun. So this deity goes back a long ways. Where is he? Is he from Cilicia? Pretty sure it's from. Is it Cilicia or Cilicia? Well, it's a Cilician deity. Um, the Baal of Tarsos, I think, was also what he was called. So he's like a warrior deity. I think he's related to associated with Hercules in the classical age, and um, stands on a lion. Yeah, so Sandon, or Sandus, um, another popular deity from classical age Anatolia. Of course, Kybele, she's a well, she's multifaceted. She's a multifaceted deity. Kybele is, and she goes back a long ways too. Um, there's been a lot of studies and research on her. She's worshipped all over Anatolia. Very, very fascinating goddess. It's like a mother. She's definitely a mother goddess of the wilderness. She's associated with the wilderness a lot. Um, but there's a lot more to her than that, too. She's associated with royalty, um, protection of the city, things like that. So she's got associations with urban and with rural life. So that is really interesting. Of course, she's associated with lions. She's, you know, got lions, and also, what is the bird that she's most, so she's associated with birds too. Um, it's unclear whether she's connected to the goddess Kubaba or not. We're not completely sure. Could be completely separate deities that just kind of resemble each other a little bit. Kubaba, Kybel, maybe. It's a gray area there still, I think. But Kybel goes back a long ways. Um, she's worshipped by the Phrygians, the Lydians, um, other Anatolian groups. Um, there's I'm forgetting a lot more deities now. There's a bunch more. There's a deity associated with Hercules. He rides a horse and carries a club. Um, Very interesting deity there. I think the name starts with a K. Um, the Dioscuri were popular in Anatolia. There might be there may be some native characteristics with that cult there. And there's also a lunar goddess too. Well, there's a couple different ones associated. Some of them are associated with Artemis. Others, it's unclear. But Athena was associated with the goddess. What is her name? I talked about it in Malia. Malia. Um, Not sure why, because Malia earlier on was associated with like gardens and grain and vineyards, like the like kind of all like almost like a vegetation goddess, like agricultural goddess almost. But there's probably something to it, or I don't know. I don't know exactly, but Malia was associated with Athena in Lycia. Malia was worshipped in Lycia, and trying to think of some more names here before I wrap it up. But let me see here. Of course, Artemis was associated with some couple different native goddesses, like associated with the wilderness. It seemed like, of course, you have the famous mother goddess Artemis of Ephesus. That's probably originally a native deity. It just became associated with Artemis. There's a lot more. So, then you have Sabazios, the mysterious deity Sabazios. He probably deserves his own video. Well, they all do, but he was worshipped in Anatolia as well as Thracia. Yeah, you got the Thracian deities as well. They're mysterious. The Illyrian deities are mysterious, but we know some of the I'm interested in those too. We know some of the deities from there. I wish we knew more. I wish we knew more, because those are all equally fascinating. The Illyrian area, man, I think we don't know too much about that area, about that, but we can certainly get into those. um, So I guess that will wrap it up for now. But Anatolian deities from the classical age. That's what this video is all about. For anyone interested, definitely let me know, and I can do more videos on this topic.